Coach Kalen DeBoer talks about the offensive line and the quarterback play after the first fall scrimmage. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black coming back once again to talk about my Alabama Crimson Tide and what Coach Kalen DeBoer had to say about Alabama's first fall scrimmage. He had great news, especially concerning the offensive line and the quarterback play. You know, last season, quarterback play was not up to par. Offensive line wasn't up to par. As a matter of fact, our offensive line play haven't been up to par since the 2020 season. 2021, I remember clearly Bryce Young was sacked at over 40 times. That is a disaster. And we haven't been much better since then. So let's go ahead and get into the video and see what Coach Kalen DeBoer had to say. And the information is coming from Bama Hammer. Started out by talking about last season, inconsistent quarterback and an offensive line performance, along with turnovers, dragged Alabama football down to a 4-loss season. The Crimson Tide was tied for 10th in the SEC with turnovers, 11 interceptions. In addition, Miro had 6 fumble turnovers and shared responsibility for being sacked 23 times. You cannot expect to be a playoff team with those numbers. You can't. 21 turnovers, 11 interceptions, and 6 fumble turnovers by your quarterback. That's 18. What is that? 11, 6. That's 17 turnovers by your quarterback alone. You can't be a playoff team like that. Also, sacked 23 times. Some of those sacks Miro didn't have to take. Some of those sacks he caused himself. So, yes, our quarterback play last season was mediocre, no matter how you looked at it. As I always say, Jalen Miro did some great things for Alabama. We won some games because of Miro, and we won some games in spite of Miro sometimes. But we also lost some games because of Jalen Miro. We all know this. But in my opinion, I think he did more good than bad, during his time at Alabama. But hopefully, according to Coach Kalen DeBoer, hopefully, though the mediocre quarterback play, the mediocre offensive line play is a thing of the past. Hopefully. All right. We can't get too excited right now about what Coach Kalen DeBoer said because it's only the first fall scrimmage. If it continues through the fall, then we might have something to get excited about when it comes to our Alabama Crimson Tide offense, especially the quarterback play and the offensive line play. Anyway, speaking after the first scrimmage of fall camp, Kalen DeBoer stated the offensive line was solid in pass protection. That is great. As exciting as that was to hear from Alabama football fans, DeBoer said something more significant during the scrimmage. There were no interceptions. He elaborated that during 8 August practice sessions, the 3 Crimson Tide quarterbacks have thrown only 3 interceptions. Only 3 interceptions all camp. 8 practices, only 3 interceptions, and that's through all the quarterbacks. That is really great. That is great, okay? Offensive line, solid pass protection. That is lovely. That is lovely. Solid pass protection. The quarterback got time to go through his reads. He got time to go through his progressions, find the open guy. Also, that gives these wide receivers time to get open. Coach Kalen DeBoer went on to elaborate the offensive line opening up seams for the running backs. He was especially gave a rave review for J.M. Miller, running back one, as we all know. We all know J.M. Miller is running back one. And he's going to be a hell of a running back. He also talked about all of these running backs being able to catch the ball out the backfield. He mentioned Daniel Hill. He mentioned Richard Young. Okay, so we also got some young backs, A.K. Deere and Kevin Riley also. But I'm really excited about this this offensive line from what Coach Kalen DeBoer is saying. But like I said, we can't get too excited because it's only one scrimmage, and it's the first one. But anyway, going back to what he said, where we at? Going back to what he said, Coach Kalen DeBoer. Talking about the quarterback. Ty Simpson has 0 interceptions, including 7 versus 7 work. And this is throughout the whole camp. But anyway, given that Alabama is blessed with talent and experience in the secondary, Simpson's work so far has been exceptional. Alabama fans need to remember that Simpson was a 5-star quarterback, but a few Crimson Tide fans may have forgotten that Simpson's father is a quarterback coach. He's a quarterback coach, I'm a football coach, but he's a quarterback coach. For a quarterback, not making bad throws requires making the correct reads. No one should be surprised that Ty Simpson has such skill. No one should be. Being that his dad is a quarterback coach. You know what that means? You got a coach at practice and you got a coach at home. Okay, so this guy's learning all the time. This guy's been a quarterback ever since he's been playing football. And his dad has been a quarterback coach. And that is great. That's why he was a 5-star. I keep trying to tell y'all that for those of y'all who don't know, the haters, Ty Simpson was a 5-star. Also, it ain't for Alabama fans to remember that Ty Simpson is a 5-star. It's for all the haters, because all the haters has been talking about Ty Simpson like he's just a old run-of-the-mill quarterback. He is not. This guy is very accurate with the ball. This guy knows how to go through his progressions, okay? And this guy makes quick decisions. He's not going to stand back there waiting all day for somebody to get open. He's going to take off. He can run. He got some wheels. So don't be surprised when you see this guy. Well, when you see his running ability. If you've been watching Alabama already, you know he have the ability to run and escape the pocket. So when you see it, for all you haters, don't be surprised. Anyway, Coach Kalen DeBoer provided more detail about the August performance of the quarterback group. The biggest thing was those guys, the quarterbacks, they done a great job. First of all, they taking care of the ball. That's the most important thing. The completion percentage over the course of the camp for all three have been in the range that they want, and they want to see a minimum of 65% completion rate. He also talked about Ty Simpson and Austin Mack having command of the huddle, and Keelan Russell is learning very quickly. So basically, he solidified, not just yet, it ain't on record, but he solidified Ty Simpson is going to be your starter, and Austin Mack is going to be your backup. Keelan Russell still learning, which is understandable. True freshman. Okay, so he's still learning. But as far as Ty Simpson, he been there for 3 years. He know what to do. We know what to expect out of Ty Simpson. He know the standard of Alabama football. Austin Mack was there last season too, transfer from Washington. As I said before, Coach Ryan Grove and Coach Kalen DeBoer, they recruited this guy, and they didn't recruit him for nothing. And he's a big body quarterback also. But anyway, I'm excited about this news, man. I'm very excited about the news. Crimson Tide fans looking for a downside can question the defense whenever the Tide offense performs? That's a question I had too. No such overreaction is warranted for an Alabama defense that is expected to be better than last season. And I agree with that. I expect our offense to our defense to be a whole lot better than it was last season. I will say it again. I'll say it again. Last season, Coach Kane Womack was implementing a new system with a whole lot of young players. And this season, I expect those young players from last season to have a grasp on everything. I mean, everything. We shouldn't even miss a beat. We should not. Okay. So I know these quarterbacks in this fall scrimmage or throughout fall camp haven't been throwing interceptions, and that is good. But like I say, Alabama fans can have a question. Is that because our defense, the secondary is not up to par? I don't think that's the case, but that's a question that could be asked. You know, Coach Kalen DeBoer talking about the offensive line opening up these seams and gaps for these running backs to get through. Could that be because our defensive line ain't playing up to par, or they are not where they want to be yet? Talking about the defense as a whole. Could it be that? All right. Or could it be our offense is just that explosive? Could it be that? Because we know we got a deep running back room. We know what our wide receivers are capable of. And I'm saying it again. I think Alabama will have a top 5 defense next season or this coming up season. Season starts in what? We got about 19 days left. 19 days in the time to be ready to roll. And throughout the rest of the fall camp and throughout, I mean, you know, every scrimmage, if we continue to perform like we doing, the offense and the defense step up just a little bit, we'll be on point. You know, going into the 2025 season. August 30th, Florida State first on the schedule, and we're going to learn about our Alabama Crimson Tide against Florida State. But I done said it. After we beat the brakes off Florida State, we know all the haters is going to be like, oh, man, it was just Florida State. You beat a 2-win team from last season or a 10-loss season. Or a 10-loss team from last season. That was last season. Just like we was a 4-loss team last season. That was last season. This is now. This is 2025. It ain't 2024 no more. And I fully expect my Alabama Crimson Tide to be a whole lot better than what they was last season, offensively and defensively. And I fully expect our quarterback play to be, 90% better. 90%. Yeah, I said it. I can't go a whole 100, but at least 90% better than what it was last season. Because if it's not, we might have a couple of issues. And I don't want to have no issues from the quarterback this season. We know Ty Simpson. He can throw that damn ball. We know he can run it. We know we got a deep running back room and what our running backs is capable of. We know we got a stellar wide receiver room. But it all depends on the offensive line. And from what Coach Kalen DeBoer is saying, if this offensive line can perform the way it performed in the first scrimmage throughout the rest of the fall, throughout the season, no doubt Alabama will be a playoff team because everything runs through the offensive line. Can't nothing on the offense be successful without stellar offensive line play. Can't be successful. But I think Alabama going to be pretty good. And I think with the addition of Ryan Grubb, that changed a lot for this offense. A lot. But we're going to see starting August 30th against Florida State. But until then, y'all be blessed. And remember, KB don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. and roll damn tide.